On fucking Mars. If the sky's your limit, then you'll never go far.
Alright, what's up guys? I'm back. Today is still Friday. I gotta get this video done. Then I actually have to go edit Friday's video, so it could be up. It's gonna be up late, but I already talked about it. No, sorry. I know I tried to turn my head away from the microphone, which is stupid because I'm wearing a headset, so my microphone is always in front of my mouth, no matter what. So I talked about work. I talked about, like, I didn't talk really much about work. Like, there was a lot of things I kind of left out. Stuff that was, like, significant but not significant enough to talk about, like, little things. But then I also just want to talk about, like, how the event was. Because I also did stay for the event this weekend. Or last weekend, technically. This weekend for me. Last weekend for you guys. I ended up working outside Lands, which is this big, what the fuck, can't even talk. Music festival that goes on. So it's been going on for 10 years now, apparently, because it was the 10th anniversary. And, basically, it was just a lot of bands, Metallica, Gorillaz, The Who, Cage the Elephant, you know. A lot of old bands I used to listen to, kind of. Never really listened to, The Who, though. Let's see, they had, rappers like Schoolboy Q, EDM artists like Above and Beyond, a lot of different artists, honestly. It was a pretty cool event. Honestly, the only artists I really saw were Metallica, which we'll talk about, obviously, and Above and Beyond, which were pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And I've never, or actually, I have been to raves, I've been to EDM events, but this one was actually pretty cool, you know. I've never been to a big event like this. Like, this event was massive, honestly. And it was kind of cool because, you know, I only planned on staying to watch Metallica, and we were gonna stay till, Sunday, or we're going to stay Sunday night, because my friend wanted to see Above and Beyond, and it's like, alright, you know what, dude? You stayed for me to watch Metallica, I'll stay for you so we could, you know, because we were both in the same hotel. It was Jesus, you know. I'm like, alright, you know what, bro? Since you stayed to watch Metallica with me, I'll stay and watch Above and Beyond with you, you know? It's only fair, you know? Especially because, you know, like, we're homies, dude. I'm not going to fucking leave you. He's like, oh, dude, if you guys leave to the hotel, it's fine. I'll just stay here in the, RV with Sunny. I'm like, nah, bro. We're fucking a crew, you know. We'll lead to the hotel together. We'll do everything, you know. It's like, you know, you're part of my car. I'll stay for you, and we'll go at the same time. But we decided to actually watch the show. But, you know, just, we'll talk about Above and Beyond first, then we'll talk about Metallica. So, Above and Beyond, they were alright, you know. Once again, not really too into EDM much anymore. Been to a few raves, and this one was alright. It was actually probably the biggest, or it actually was the biggest rave I've been to. But it really wasn't, like, anything too, like, oh my god moment. But definitely Metallica. Holy shit. Metallica was fucking amazing live. And I used to listen to Metallica all the time. I kind of stopped when I moved into, like, more heavier metal. Like, you know. Like, not saying Metallica's bad, but there was a certain point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I want something heavier. I want something harder, you know. I started getting into, like, Carnifex, Suicide Silence, all this stuff, like Whitechapel. So it's like, you know, I want something harder, something more intense. You know, Metallica was good, but I want more, like, growls, death metal, you know. I want something heavier. So, you know, I just stopped listening to, like, rock, Metallica. I stopped listening to all that. And then I saw Metallica was to be here. I'm like, huh. Alright, that'd be kind of cool to go watch. Like, I don't, you know, even if I go without watching it, I'd still be okay. But I'm like, if I could stay and watch it, that's going to be awesome. I didn't get to see Gorillaz at all. I know that the time we were leaving on Friday, Gorillaz was playing, and we heard a little bit of their music, but I didn't really stick around to actually, like, watch them, because I'm like, no one wanted to stick around Friday. I forgot what we did Friday, actually, but, like, no one really wanted to stick around, so we're like, whatever, dude, we'll just go to the hotel and get some sleep. You know, we're, like, early morning crew all, you know, since this event started, we've been early morning crew the whole time, so it's kind of like, alright, whatever. Wait, what's over here first? There's none over here. Okay, that was a huge waste. Wait, there was a door over there. If there's a secret, I don't really care. But yeah, so Metallica we ended up getting there a few minutes late. I forgot what happened, but we ended up getting there a few minutes late. Still put on a good show. We ended up pulling up as they were playing Moth into Flame. Oh, wait. Yeah, Moth into Flame was a really good song that I liked. It was like, damn, dude, this is a good song. And I actually ended up downloading it promptly the next day. I'm like, fuck, dude. They played a lot of good songs, but I'm kind of upset they didn't play, All Nightmare Long, which is honestly my favorite Metallica song, hands down. Like, if someone told me, hey, play a Metallica song, I would instantly go to All Nightmare Long. Like, that's how good that song is, in my opinion. But they didn't play it. Maybe they opened up with it. Because, like I said, we were a little bit late. But while I was there listening to them, you know, actually standing in the crowd, they didn't play it. And I don't know if I'm really going to put up videos. I might put up the videos on Instagram. So, might. If I were to upload the videos, they'd be on Instagram. But, I ended up walking up front, like front stage, which we were able to walk into the VIP area because my two friends and the other person I had to carry with me, you know. If you watched Friday's video, you'll hear I talk about how I had two friends, but I had to carry someone I didn't like with me. My two friends and him both had, all of them had VIP wristbands, and I had a guide wristband, which I saw everyone had VIP, only me and, like, maybe 4 or 5 other people had guide wristbands, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Why am I a guide and everyone's VIP? I was, like, super upset. But then, turns out, guide is better than VIP, because, you know, technically, if I were a guide while working, I'd be able to go anywhere I wanted, because if I had to be a guide to someone, I could be like, oh yeah, here's this location, you know? So, I ended up noticing one day while we were at lunch, our boss gave us meal tickets to go to, like, any food vendor in the place, you know. The food tickets were worth like $12, so it's like, hey, if you go to this food place, you know, give them this ticket, you could eat. Oh shit, this boss. So, we might finish the video here. I kind of don't want to fight the boss right now, but we'll finish up the story. So, the food ticket was like, you know, hey, you walk into this place, you give them the ticket, it's worth $12. If the food is worth $12, you basically get a free meal. If you spend like $8, technically you spent $12, because they're not going to give you real money in exchange for this fake money. So, it's like, you want to make sure you spend your money as much as you can, so you actually don't have to worry about, like, oh, fuck, I wasted $4. So, we, me and Jesus and Luis's cousin, Javier, were at break at the same time. So, I'm like, hey, dude, because there were 2 places to eat. There was the main event where you could eat, food, like, where the music is playing, but then behind the main stage, there's a tent where you could go get food from, if you have a certain type of ticket, which we didn't have. But I noticed that every day in front of the tent, there'd be like a bag of chips, there'd be water, there'd be soda. I'm like, hey, how about this? I noticed Friday we didn't get drinks. We had to pay for them. How about today, Saturday, we walk into the... Oh, no, it was like Sunday, yeah. It was Sunday. My bad. I get the story so mixed up. It's horrible. So I'm like, hey, yesterday we didn't get drinks. How about today we go to the food tent, we grab some water, sodas, and a bag of chips, and then we'll have like a full meal. So, at every point, there was a check-in point for, like, security, for an RFID checkpoint. So, I walk in, I swipe my badge, green. Javier, who has a red, or has a VIP badge, not a guide, he swipes it, it turns red. And then they're like, whoa, 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 what's going on? I'm like, you know, I walked ahead and I look back and see Javier's like, David, wait. So, I'm like, oh, shit, let me go back. And he's like, is he with you? I'm like, yeah, we're going to get lunch. He's like, oh, do you guys have lunch tickets? I'm like, yeah, I briefly showed him my ticket, which wasn't the right ticket there, but it's like, whatever. They see it, and they're like, oh, okay, because we've had a few problems with people not having the right, badges to go into certain areas. I'm like, yeah, he's here, we're just going to lunch, our boss told us to go to the tent we've been going to for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they're like, oh, okay, but as long as you guys are together, you know, there won't be a problem. I'm like, alright, yeah, we'll stick together. So we walk in there, we're still wearing our yellow, parking vests. So we walk in, we grab sodas, and they're like, hey, I had to go to the bathroom, like, you should go too. And then I told him, I snuck up on him, like, hey, take off your vest, you know, and just hide it underneath your jacket. Now, we didn't have to hide our vests. If we walked around in our vests, it'd be fine, no problems would occur. But he wanted to smoke a little, and then there was also the fact that, hey, if you're wearing a vest while inside, people will think you're working. Once again, we were working the outside perimeter. We're working parking, not the interior. So we don't know where anything is at. So I'm like, hey, yesterday when we went to lunch, a lot of people were asking us shit. I'm like, how about just take off your vest, you know, take your vest off. No one will think you're working. No one will know. So that way we're not being bothered while we're eating, you know. And then he's like, all right, good point, good point. Because, you know, it's like, even though I'd have no problem helping someone, I don't know where anything is. Because, once again, we're working outside, not inside. So it's like, all right. But, yeah, he basically couldn't get in certain areas. So I'm like, hey, I have a guide bracelet. I could go where the fuck I want, honestly, at this point. Because, you know, if I gotta guide someone, I could guide someone. Although I noticed at certain points in the night, like, if a band was coming off stage, they would disable all bracelets. No VIP, no guide. Like, even though technically guide would be allowed back there because we tried it during the day, But we noticed a few minutes before the bands were going off stage, they would disable guide bracelets so no one could sneak back there and talk to the band. So I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, Metallica was fucking amazing. I was like right at the front barrier of where they played, and they had fireworks playing during their show. They had actual fire, like pyrotechnics playing. And dude, as soon as the fire goes off, you'd instantly feel the heat off the fire and the fireworks, so that's how close you were. And then it's funny, because as soon as they shut off the fire and everything, instantly you feel the cold air coming in, because we were in San Francisco. But above and beyond, they put on a good show. I don't think I'd really listen to them much anymore, because, like I said, I'm not into EDM in a sense. Like, I'm into, like, Waifu Wednesday on YouTube and that type of music, like future funk and all that, but straight up just EDM, like Deadmau5, Skrillex, all that stuff, I'm like, I just can't anymore. That's like an old me. And I guess technically, like, if I really think about it, I probably don't listen to that music anymore because, you know, that reminds me of a time when I was, like, overweight. I didn't like myself, so it's kind of like, that's all I listened to back then. Like, I listened to Bass Nectar, Deadmau5, Skrillex, all that stuff back when I was, like, super overweight. Not super overweight, but bigger than I am now, and I just don't like that me, so I guess I don't like that music anymore. Who knows, maybe later on in the future when I change again, if that ever happens, maybe I won't like metal. But, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Gears of War. Until then, have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like. If not, that's fine. But it does help out. So, yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day.